what do I even say? As if there was a little bit of hope. Like maybe there's just like a smidge bit of hope for our season at all. It was right there at the end. 2-0-3 teams. Who needed it? Both teams. Who wanted it more? I think it's pretty obvious who wanted that more. We're done, buddy.
Oh, all right.
Titans. Tennessee Titans in 2025 are dead.
Yep. That was pathetic, lousy, hard to watch. It's just I think going forward, every game's gonna be hard to watch now. This is like you just got a sense of what now. Get blown out by a team that hasn't won yet just kind of solidifies, kind of puts it in perspective that we bad. We are some kind of bad.
This is embarrassing. Like, I thought we would lose. I said we'd lose 20-10.
Yeah.
But our offense is worse than it was last year. And sadly, our defense, garbage. Here's the thing. Are they garbage or do they quit or both? And I honestly don't know what's worse.
I don't know, but I would definitely say that last drive, they quit. They quit. I mean, the effort there was awful. I feel like we're not too far away. If we're not there already, this team's quit on Callahan.
It sure seems like it. So that's why. If we fire Callahan, I say all of the staff needs to go. I don't want to keep a single Bones Fossil. Bones Fossil is a legendary special teams coordinator. Keeps Fossil. He's not a loser. His is the only group that's performing well enough to be just league average in the NFL. Get Denard out of there. Get everybody linked to that defense out of there. Your players quit playing for you. So that should tell you all you need to know about Denard Wilson's, grip on the locker room or on his defense. Get Nick Holes and all his guys out of there. Holes, whatever. Brian Callahan's got to go. And is that the thing that, I was kind of against firing during the season because, what's that going to do? At this point, we just have a culture of losing and quitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see how it's good for Cam. I don't see how it's good for anybody. I don't see how anybody's able to learn, how anyone's able to grow. And I feel like the longer you let all this go, just the more stink that we kind of allow to possibly carry over into next year because how it just permeated the whole locker room, the whole team, the whole coaching staff for the 2025 season.
Yeah, it's weird. I was in the opinion before the season starts that, no matter what happens, I want Callahan to stay because I think it's good for Cam Ward's development to have a quarterback 2 years in a row, the same coach. And but to be honest, I think keeping Callahan might be bad for Cam Ward's development.
I agree.
Honestly, I think Cam Ward's getting worse instead of better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because I saw a thing that. Now, don't get me wrong, there was some pressures and stuff, but Cam Ward was only sacked 2 times today. That's not bad at all. And again, there was some pressures, but I'm like, so Cam Ward had too many just dropbacks and misses. So we need to do something quick before we lose Cam Ward, in my opinion.
I agree. Let's put it this way. Cam Ward's not getting better.
No. His quarterback rating today was 35. He would have had a higher quarterback rating if he just spiked the ball every single play.
And this isn't me bashing Cam Ward, maybe slightly, but he's not getting better. When you have a young quarterback who's 4 starts in and he's getting worse by the day, because I thought his week 3 was his worst performance. Honestly, I think week 1 was probably his best. Because I can remember us saying Cam Ward was doing all he could there, but nobody would catch the dang ball and yada, yada, yada. But he had a pretty decent game his first game, in my opinion. In the second game, third game's like, okay. And like that. And fourth game is just, I don't know. This team looks broken in any way you want to put it. We're awful. And I know this is probably the game just ended a few hours ago, dramatic take. I would not be surprised if we go 0-17. We do not.
Well, we just got destroyed by a winless team.
Agreed. We just got the worst offense in the NFL, which was supposed to have been worse than ours, just dropped 26 points on us. 20 of it in the second half. Not only is our offense bad, we look like making a first down. Any first downs on a drive is hard. And now this isn't me saying Will Levis over Cam, because goodbye, Will Levis. I'll take Cam Ward any day. But the Will Levis 2024 offense, way better than our Cam Ward 2025 offense.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're telling me Will Levis is a better quarterback than Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is way better than the Cam Ward-led offense right now. I don't know what the training wheels we have on right now. We never take deep shots. We're not taking one deep shot. Besides, I guess maybe that first drive, if you want to call that, was like a 30-yard pass a deep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If you take that away, we've taken one deep shot in 4 games. One. All we do is run the ball, set up screens that do not work. And I don't know. This is the most inept offense. And sadly, now it's the most inept defense to go along with it that I've ever seen.
We're garbage.
We might win 0 games this year. And that's not me being dramatic.
And I would say this, I had a low ball for the Titans. We couldn't even reach that. You know, this is worse than I thought we would be, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Just garbage. Straight garbage. Like, to be honest, the Saints put up a decent fight with the Bills, so I'm still thinking Titans could easily be the worst team in the league right now. Easily.
I mean, I'll say it right now. I do think we're the worst team in the league right now. I think we have the worst offense in the league and maybe the worst defense. I mean, what would make you think our defense ain't the worst defense in the NFL?
Yeah.
The only time our defense looked good was against the Broncos, but then apparently Bo Nix actually sucks because Bo Nix hasn't been good in any of the games this year.
I wouldn't say he sucks, but I would say
this year he has.
No, it sucks, but that's my figure.
This year he has.
No, I don't think he sucks.
This year he has.
I don't think he sucks. Anyway, this is not about a Bo Nix discussion here, but either way, you know, it gets to a point you just don't know what to say anymore.
That's exactly where I am.
Yeah, and to be honest, is like I don't even have the want or the heart to analyze and to say what do we need to fix, what do we need to do. It's just like this whole team's trash. I think we was talking about this before we got on. I think Jeffrey Simmons is the only one I can say you had a good game. Other than that, everybody was garbage today.
Even Joey Sly. Joey Sly was the highlight of week 1. He was pretty decent in week 2. And now he's missed 4 field goals in a row. Yep. And sadly, that is the Joey Sly that has been in the NFL. Only an 80% field goal hitting range.
He missed 2 last week, but they both was difficult. So I actually didn't put the red flag. You know, I didn't get concerned at all about that, to be honest. But today was 2 bad misses.
Both under 50. It's garbage.
Garbage. Titans are a garbage team. I'm done with them. I'm done with them in the sense that I ain't gonna put much thought to them throughout the week. You know, I got better things to do. Sundays, I'm gonna watch each game. That's just who I am. I like to torture myself, I guess. But it's just like, man, how do we get this bad? It's just crazy. We're just a horrible team.
So bad.
So bad.
This sounds dramatic, but I am ready to start trading players.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Ready. I agree with that.
Don't trade people like, I don't know, young second-year players who have a lot of potential who are super cheap like Jarvis Brownlee. Don't trade players like that. But trade the Zeitlers of the world. Honestly, maybe even trade Cushenberry if a center goes down in a playoff team. I guess trade Ridley. Trade Snead.
Yeah,
trade them all.
Looks bad.
This team is awful.
Yep.
Just awful.
Be smart about who you trade. Like, to be honest, don't trade a Jarvis Bradley Jr. because I want to still keep young talent. But yeah, there's some people. It's like if you think by the time we get good that these people are going to be old, then probably you should start trading some of these people. Get as many picks as we can. Because if there's one thing our GM showed that he could do is maybe draft well. So we want to get him as many bite at the apples as we can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The problem is if we cut or trade Snead, we have 0 starting cornerbacks. Outside cornerbacks, none.
That is true. Well, if we trade Snead, that just showing to the whole NFL we don't care about winning anymore.
No, but like if we do that, that means we have no starting edge rushers on our team because Olufemi's our Femi Oladejo is a project. Means we have 0 starting edge rushers, 0 starting outside corners, and if we let Roger walk, we have 0 starting corners on our entire roster.
Yep.
But it's almost one of the situations where that's what we should do. Just cut everything. Let everything walk. Hit reset besides the 2023 and the 2024 draft. Nope, the 2024 and the 2025 draft. Yeah. And Peter. We'll keep Peter Skronsky around. And just cut. Cut them all. Trade them all. Whatever we got to do. And then have $100 million freaking dollars in cap space next year. And then a bunch of draft picks and just start trying. Just try to reset, restart the whole thing.
The thing is, our GM talks about patience. I don't think he wants to be super active in free agency. But if you have the money, I say use it. But I don't know if that's his philosophy.
Do like the Commanders did and just do a bunch of 1-year deals. Instead of handing out the $4,092,000 to Calvin Ridley or the $4,076,000 or whatever it was to L'Jarius Sneed, instead of doing something like that, just do the Dramount Jones. That's a great one. Just like a 1 year. I think he is almost $10 million. Zeitler is a 1 year, $9 million. Give those kind of things where it's just a 1 year deal. If you do turn out being really good, maybe we can talk about extending you after the year. Otherwise, just do a 1 year place filler for a season and let that be that.
Yeah. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to talk about off-season stuff after every recap. Here we are.
It's just depressing that they let this happen so soon. It's week 4. Not even 4 games into the season. Yet. Not even a quarter of the way through the season. Used to be a quarter of the way through the season until they had the 17th game, but that's how numbers and math and whatnot work. But still, it's just miserable. I've never seen a football team this bad. Never.
Yeah.
I guess here's what we should do. Here's the next conversation we'll have real quick because we're not even going to go very long. We've already gone 13 minutes. There's nothing else to say besides we are awful. So let's do a little prediction game, buddy. Brian Callahan getting fired this week or no?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that points towards it. Getting embarrassed by the Texans. Amy doesn't like that. And we're just getting embarrassed and we're getting worse instead of better. So there's a lot of stuff that says yes. And I would say this. My prediction is he will get fired before the season's over, but I'm not going to say this week.
That's kind of where I am. But the thing is, I'm seeing all kinds of national media calling for his head now. Yeah. Like, what's Dan Hanzuth or whatever his name was? He does the power rankings for NFL. Yeah. Where that guy is, he's called for him to be fired. Somebody else that I had read, I forgot who it was, but their national media guys like, yeah, Brian Callahan's got to go. So the whole league is now on. Actually, now I don't like this guy at all. He says a lot of stupid stuff. But Nick Wright last week tweeted saying how bad Brian Callahan is and how he's got to go. So the whole league is on to him. He's on to our coaching staff. It's just depressing because this was supposed to be year 1 of the rebuild, but I feel like we fire all of our coaches and all that. We're technically back to year 1.
You know what's funny? We on rebuild, which means we're supposed to be at the bottom of the barrel, and somehow through the season we got worse. And we look like our rebuilding is taking longer than we wanted to go into the season, which we already accepted we was in a rebuild mode, and now we're just even more so, if that makes sense. We're not 1 year closer from getting out of rebuild. We just gotta just stayed where we was at, if not went backwards.
So I speak 2 languages. I speak English and I speak sarcasm. And Nathan Scott is speaking one of those languages. He says, man, the Titans are really good this year, huh? Oh, yeah, buddy. They are so freaking good. They're exciting. I wake up with my heart just pumping in my chest on Sunday mornings, just so excited to sit down and watch the Titans get their tiny hiney spanked. It's honestly, I feel like I'm wasting my time. That's why I feel like watching the Titans.
When I was watching them, I'm like, I could probably. It does feel like a waste of time. It is tough to be a Titan fan because I'm gonna still be there. I'm still gonna watch them, even though it's just we don't stand a chance. You just know, if we got destroyed like that by the Texans, we could get beat by anybody.
Nathan Scott also says they would be pretty good at golf. They're good at hitting par score. Yeah, absolutely. If you're trying to get as low of a score as possible, we're pretty dang good. And basically, like we were saying earlier, is what the biggest issue is. Our offense and defense are both bottom 3.
Yeah, that is true.
And it sounds like I said, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It sounds dramatic, but we might go 0-17.
We could.
We might go 0-17. And who knows, for 2026 and beyond, that might be great. Having somebody you still think could be your franchise quarterback and going into the next season with the number 1 overall pick, that could be fantastic. But it's September, and we're talking about getting the number 1 overall pick. That's not cool.
That's not good enough. Yeah, I can see us go 0-17, but the thing is, you never know when a team's you just play somebody's good against somebody, or they play bad and you get a win that you shouldn't. So I'm not going to predict 0-17, but I would say this: I don't see us doing better than last year, and we only had 3 wins last year. No. I'm going to say 3 wins is the ceiling for us.
Well, here's the thing, though. I'd say we're probably about as bad as we were last year because we only won 3 games last year. But if you remember correctly, 2 of those 3 wins, Mason Rudolph actually won us the game.
That's true.
So Will Levis only won 1 game for us, and that was against the Texans. And you know how anything can happen in a divisional game. But I just think it's sad that I already kind of feel like I'm going to be rooting for us to lose out 4 games in.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hate it. The season gets kind of lame and boring when you start wanting to lose for better draft picks. But that's kind of where we are in September. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cam Ward dropped back, zip it across the middle. Alec Iamander catches it and turns it up for 10 more yards. We got a 30-yard gain. I'm like, am I supposed to clap here? Or am I saying, hey, don't ruin our draft positioning? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate having conflicts of interest.
I'm always going to want Cam Ward to do good, to be honest. Like, I'm never going to be mad to see Cam Ward make a play. Because, to be honest, I kind of want to see more of it. If 4 weeks in, and he doesn't have any help, receivers dropping, receivers not getting open, so I'm definitely not putting all the blame on Cam Ward. But I would like to see a little more, ooh, that was special. And I haven't seen much of it. It was like that pass he did, the deep one, that was a good throw. So that was, I guess, one of those opportunities. But still, being the number 1 overall pick, I would like to see a little more from him. Because there's no doubt about it. Today he was inaccurate. Today he missed a lot of throws.
He has under 50% completions, right?
Yeah. Definitely. He was 10 of 28 or 10 of 29, something like that. Yeah. And for the season, he's better like 50% completions for the season. That's unacceptable, to be honest.
Yeah. Drops had a lot to do with that, but today he was inaccurate. Today he was inaccurate.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm Mike Borgonzi, he's the only person I think in the whole building who's safe right now. If I'm Mike Borgonzi, I don't know what to do or where to even start.
Yeah. He's 51% for the year. 51.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
Of course, here's the thing. Not only are we terrible at offense and terrible at defense, we also are super injured. Right tackle.
Especially at the line.
J.C. Latham's been gone. Zeitler finally came back. But then T'Vondre Sweat's gone for 4 weeks. Spears, who's supposed to be a big part of our offense, he's been gone the whole season. Nathan Scott says, I don't even think he's an above-average quarterback, which is weird for a number 1 pick. Right now, he's not playing like a above-average quarterback. I agree with you.
He has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of traits and a lot of stuff I like that I think he can be a good quarterback. Now, I will say Cam Ward definitely doesn't have a lot of the shine and abilities I think some first-round picks go with. Like, I think a lot of people admit that Cam Ward was not, some of these quarterbacks is getting picked number 1 overall. Like, he's a can't-miss quarterback. Cam Ward was not that. I would definitely say that. but I think he's good enough. But he has no help around him at all.
No,
even someone like
doesn't.
Calvin Ridley is looking like trash.
Which that's just frustrating too. Like Ella Guymaner's our best wide receiver. How on earth do you have a 4th round rookie that barely? I think we used a compensatory pick on him, so he was just this close to being a 5th round wide receiver. Is our wide receiver 1, while our $92 million contract man is wide receiver 2, I guess. Chig, he's disappeared again. He had one good game last week, but Chig's an absolute non-factor. Tyler Lockett is old. Chim is great on special teams, but a lot of nothing on offense. The offensive line, we got so many draft picks, so much money put in the offensive line. We can't block squat. It's just so frustrating. It's painful to watch.
It is. So talentless. And then the people, I think times we don't have much talent, and a lot of people that I think is good are not playing very good. Calvin Ridley being one of them.
Yeah. I think, actually, I hate to quote this person because he was awful today. Snead, I think it was Snead who said this. He said the good players need to play good. Yeah. Is what he said. He said something like that. I'm including like, yes. You. He was like, including you. And like I said, I haven't been as down on him as most people in the first 3 weeks. But then week 4, he crapped the bed. Well, I think it's wet the bed's the term, but crap sounds worse. So he crapped the bed in week 4. And I agree. Calvin Ridley. Now, Jeff, besides Big Jeff, who really came to play today, Big Jeff was fantastic. If you take him out, you think about our expensive people like the Sneeds, like the Ridleys. They're honestly, sadly, the last 2 weeks, Monty Hooker hasn't been good either. And these are the guys making the most money for us who are not playing well. Nathan says, the first year I watched the Titans was when Derrick Henry was popping off. I'm going to assume that's 2018. The second half of 2018 is when he really started popping off. It says, and they were so fun to watch. It sucks having them be this bad now. Hopefully next year they'll be better. I agree with everything you just said, but that last sentence, hopefully they'll be better next year. Sadly, we've been saying that since 2022. Because 2021, we were the number 1 seed. I mean, I agree with you. I do hope they're better next year. But after 2022, dropping 7 straight, and we went 7-10, I said, hopefully we'll be better next year. And then after that, we followed up with a 6-11 season. Hopefully, we'll be better next year. Follow that with a 3-14 season. Hopefully, they'll be better next year. And now here we are. Whichever year they were one win, that's the 2019 season. Because, Derrick Henry kind of started popping off because he's sharing it with Dion Lewis at the backfield. Was 2018. The second half of 2018, he started popping off. 2019, we benched Mariota, got Tannehill in there, went all the way to the AFC Championship. That was a beautiful season. And yes, definitely Derrick Henry arrived that season. It was a beautiful thing. We were fun to watch. We ran the ball a lot, but guess what? 5, 6, 7 yard runs, and then boom, he breaks a big one. That's fun. That's fun to watch. Screens that don't work, sacks, throwaways, dropped passes. This isn't fun. I'm not enjoying myself. I don't know about you, Josiah.
No, it's not fun. But again, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm not leaving nowhere. I'm staying in, watching each Titan game like it actually matters.
He says, I think I watched them in 2018 too because I remember the 99-yard run. Yeah, that's when he for the national media, he popped off when you have a 99-yard run. It's definitely when people start taking notice of you.
Did we miss the playoffs that year?
We did. Remember that was the year Mariota was dealing with the stinger, and they ended up sitting. It was a winning in against the Colts. Yeah, it was a winning in against the Andrew Luck led Colts, and Mariota was advised by his doctors to not play, and we had Blaine Gabbert to do the winning in, and we did not win.
And we did not win.
Yeah, but 9-7. Can you imagine winning 9 games in a season now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That shows you how you can get spoiled pretty fast. We was like 9 wins. Oh, this is embarrassing. And now we can't get 5 wins.
I was going to say, because I can remember us complaining and being like, I'm tired of being just a good team. Who cares if we're just 9-7, 10-6, maybe we make the playoffs, but we just get beat and maybe we win a playoff game. Like we used to complain about that. We'd say, I want to actually make a Super Bowl push instead of just barely skid our way into the playoffs. Now, we can't win a game period. Would you just drop?
My lights.
Your lights. Okay. Nathan Scott says, can you imagine getting 9 points in a game? I mean, technically we did last week, but with the way we played, the the way we played today, no, I can't even imagine getting 2 first downs on a drive.
Man, we struggled to get 9 first downs in the game.
It's honestly despicable. But I feel like we're starting to kick a dead horse. That horse is dead, and we're just kicking it. So I'm going to ask Nathan before we get out of here. Personal prediction, because we did the prediction earlier. I'm going to ask the question and wait for your reply. Does Brian Callahan get fired this week? Yay or nay? We both said we don't think so, but we predict it's going to happen by season's end. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he says, yeah, I hope Cam Ward and the team improves. I have nothing against them. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll wait for this little reply here. Because yeah, it's just, we're despicable. We look worse. Brian Callahan looks worse. The operation looks worse. Everything, everyone.
Improving. There's no development in this team right now.
Okay. He says, probably not this week since he made a coaching change. Yeah, they'll probably give him like a couple weeks. And I've said it for the last 9 months or so. Actually, not 9 months, but like 6 or 7 months or so. I said, oh, look at that. This week, Vrabel's coming back to town. Vrabel's going to kick the Titans' butt. Brian Callahan gets fired. So it's looking more and more likely as time goes on.
I can see that's what happens. Our old coach comes into town, beats us. That's when she fires him.
After they just dropped 42 points on the Panthers.
But I do agree with Nathan a little bit. I think by us changing who's calling the plays, bought Callahan some time. Because Callahan has an excuse like, well, we just changed the play calling, so he needs a couple weeks to find his groove. So I think that's the excuse he's going to use, and I agree with Nathan. I think he's going to survive a couple more weeks, but I still say he's going to be fired before the season's over, but just not yet, is my opinion.
Probably. If he doesn't get fired after this game, he'll probably be fine after the Cardinals and the Raiders, which is our 2 next games, and then it'll be the Patriots that he gets canned. Unless we somehow start winning games. But I'm not even worried about trying to win games right now. I'm worried about trying to pick up a first down. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. So with that said, I think we'll probably just go ahead and get out of here. Because again, we're just kicking a dead horse. There's nothing really else to say about the just dreadful nastiness that this Tennessee Titans team is. So, got anything you want to say on the way out, buddy?
Tighten up. It's my soul to say that, but tighten up.
I guess tighten up. Thanks for joining the chat, Nathan. Thanks for everybody who's watching and who will watch after this is published and uploaded and all that good stuff. So tighten up, I guess. Peace out and all that